We are back with more Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. This is a first story style game. Played it for about an hour before. We're going to play it for about 2 hours today. I'll quickly go over the things that I already know about these patients. Give me 1 second. All right, so we've got 5 crazy patients. Bryce is cray-cray because he believes there's a 25th hour in the day, sort of like Persona. Claire is cray-cray because she's mundane cray-cray, at least as far as we can tell. She stabbed her husband with a steak knife. Aylin is an angel of death hospice person. She, kills people in her hospice. Mariana wakes up on a beach after blackouts and is covered in seaweed. There's some kind of, Cthulhu stuff going on with her. And Nathan has a Groundhog Day thing going on where he keeps reliving the same day over and over. It's been a while since I played this last, so it might take me a bit to catch back up to where we were. I am able to review my notes, which are marked automatically, as well as my recent question history. So I'm going to try to just start with Bryce and move down the list here. Let me review my notes with this guy really quick. This is the 25th hour Persona guy. Say hello to Aylin for me. Let her know that Terry called for her. I could stop going to the beach. Okay, this is for all the characters, I see. Maybe I should focus on them. Let's go back to Aylin and say Terry called. Maybe we did. Wonder why that's still showing in the notes then.
I don't know anything about that.
Yes. Hearing. I think I can see some things. What do you know about Dr. Dekker's murder?
I think it's terrible what happened to him. So awful.
How many times is the right number of times to say
like
baby in a row? How did Dr. Dekker die? All right, already had that one. How long have you been seeing him?
I've been seeing him for about 9 months, I think.
Perhaps you should ask someone else a question. Very good. I was getting close to the end of this chapter last time. It's a good question. Why isn't she in prison? After she's basically confessed to having murdered or at least stabbed her husband.
I suppose after what I did, there are people that might think I belonged in prison. What do you think, Doctor? Can I be saved with therapy, or should I be locked up like a dangerous criminal?
I think you should be locked up.
That's disappointing. Don't you want to try to make me better?
No.
At least Dr. Dekker gave it a shot in his own way.
How did Dr. Dekker try to help? How can I help you? Do you think Dekker was suicidal? I wouldn't have guessed to ask that.
Dr. Dekker just had that look about him. You know what they say about us crazies. Takes one to know one.
What makes you think Dr. Dekker was crazy? I don't think you've lost your mind. Why do the police think you're dangerous?
I assume they think I'm dangerous because I stabbed my husband.
I guess that's another path to find out about her stabbing her husband if you didn't get to it via other paths. Alright, so she's basically tapped out now as well. Let's see what he knows about Dekker's murder.
Yes, Dr. Dekker was murdered. Quelle surprise. Murder does seem a bit harsh, doesn't it? And another grave to dig. I know as much about it as you do. Less, I would imagine.
Why do you like planning moves in advance? This is the Persona guy.
I do like to be in control, but then I suppose most people do. Nobody wants life to carry them along helplessly. Everyone wants to kick against it and make their own way. Do you like to be in control, Doctor?
I do like control.
No, sorry.
Okay, that was a rhetorical question. Yes, I like to be in control. Damn it, game. I guess I had to say yes or no.
If you like being in control, you'll have a tough time here. I saw it with Dr. Dekker. Such control, such stability. But he unraveled at the end.
The rotating angle on that answer. How did Dr. Dekker unravel?
He couldn't keep control of everything, of everyone. He just set us up like dominoes, but we all toppled in unexpected ways. You'll find it all out in time, Doctor. Just not today. Can't have your head exploding, can we?
Head exploding.
I can't help you there.
Okay. Perhaps you should ask someone else a question. Brilliant. We're almost at the end. Oh, God. All right, Mariana has a ton of stuff I haven't followed up on. We'll do her last. This is the Groundhog Day guy. How high are you grinding life?
I'm not really fit for work anymore. I work in produce at the local supermarket. That mainly involves lifting heavy crates of fruit and veg into place for people to buy, and doing that over and over again. My muscles don't seem to have grown much. I think that maybe I'm not aging. When the day resets, I just reset with it. I used to be a builder.
Builder?
I used to be a builder.
Hey!
A contractor. I had to quit. It's hard watching a house get built only to start all over again the next day. I needed something less obvious.
It's obvious?
What? I don't know.
Mentioned a montage.
Most of my days a blur. I'm not sure if it's the sleeping tablets I'm on or just how I've learned to switch off.
Sleeping tablets?
I'm on temazepam. Dr. Dekker prescribed them for me. He thought I would sleep through to a whole new day.
That's an interesting
I did.
theory. Groundhog Day is such a good movie. Yeah, you don't think you're aging?
I'm 57. Kidding. Just if you spent the whole day at the gym and then repeat that day and not go, you'd have achieved nothing.
Guessing he doesn't have anything else to say about the gym. Can you go back and save Hannah?
No, I can't move backwards any more than a day. I don't really seem to control it. It's generally always on. I have to try and change something to move forward.
Oh, that's new information. Forward?
I don't have anything to say about that.
Okay. Hey, he's done. All right, Mariana. So she's the one that wakes up naked on the beach covered in seaweed, and there's some kind of Cthulhu nonsense going on. Is your hair wet when you wake up? I see. And she was also the first person I talked to, so I didn't really understand that she would ask direct questions that I could give a yes or no answer to. So it looks like it's added those on the possible prompts here. I'll probably rely on these until we get new patients or we get a new set of questions. Is your hair wet when you wake up?
When I wake up, my hair is dry, but it's pretty hot at the moment. I get baked quickly by the sun. It's possible I've been in the sea during my blackout.
She doesn't like go out swimming and then black out. She like blacks out and then wakes up on the beach. Why do you hold your breath so much?
I hold my breath when I'm swimming underwater. Most people do. Sometimes, if I'm really excited, I'll hold my breath accidentally, just for a few seconds. I don't know why.
Okay. Do you ever find your clothes after you black out?
I never find my clothes. I don't know why I'm naked.
She must burn through clothes really fast. Or it's like, are they gone forever? She's worried about people pressing charges because of public indecency.
I guess people see me and call the police. But someone will take offense eventually, and I'll be charged with indecent exposure.
what I would have expected. Let me see if I can see the list where she mentioned cake originally. I don't know if it gives me the full text of it or if I just have to select that option again. That's just the full question history. All right. Yes, you can have a cake. No, you don't get a cake. No, I've never been addicted. Yes, I've been addicted. No, I've never been addicted.
That's a shame. You need to have a passion for something, Doctor.
Yes, you can have a cake.
That is so sweet. Thank you, Doctor.
No problem. I'm happy to provide cake. Are you flirting with me?
Wow. Let's get straight to it then. I'm not sure I feel comfortable speaking with you about that at the moment.
We should ask someone else a question. All right, so I think I have the same prompt for everybody. So it might be that I've exhausted everyone's responses. Yeah, looks like that's the case. So that's where I can click continue now.
Oh, Doctor.
There we go.
Glad I caught you. I thought you might want to hear what Ben had to say. Quick catch up?
Yes. What did Ben have to say?
I'm not sure Ben will be coming in for a while. He's still pretty shook up about finding the body. I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often in the line of work he's in. Anyway, he said he found the body at exactly 20 minutes past 10. For some reason, the first thing he did was look at his watch. That's all he'd say before he'd shut down. The police weren't very talkative either.
Pretty standard caffeine addiction prop. I don't drink coffee or anything like that. Just because it's standard doesn't mean I shouldn't mention it. Ben found Dr. Dekker's body? Yeah. Who is Ben?
Sorry, didn't you know? Ben's one of the night shift cleaners. I'm sure he's got some tales he could tell.
How many tales could Ben tell? Okay, what did Ben have to say? Ben found Dekker's body.
Yes, Ben found Dr. Dekker's body on Valentine's night in his office. In your office.
In my office?
I don't know what Dr. Dekker was doing here, and my services weren't required that evening. He'd often stay late though, so it wasn't that unusual.
What did he find with the body? Okay, that's the same. I'm just writing some notes down. Valentine's Day, huh? Why Valentine's Day?
Yes, you know, the 14th of February, the day of love. Or remembering a massacre, whichever's more you.
You're a goof, Jaya. How well did you know Dr. Dekker? And you mentioned the police. Let's try. How well did you know him?
I wouldn't say we were best friends, but we did spend a lot of time together. There's only two of us that work here. I'm sure we'll become friends too, Doctor. Just try not to get murdered.
She's a murderer, calling it. She has one of those cool New Mexico turquoise necklaces. Police?
The police wanted to know what I was doing Valentine's night, you know, when the body was found. I was at home, all on my lonesome. So I guess that makes me a suspect.
It does. What were you doing at home?
I don't know, Doctor.
You should know. Should I suspect you?
I think the police want you to make a short list of suspects, or maybe even find the killer.
Damn.
You're seeing all the patients that were on the books when he was killed. There was no forced entry, so they think it might be someone he knew, or someone who had access to the office. like little old me. Do you think I'm a suspect, Doctor?
Yes.
I'd like to help, but I don't know anything.
Yes, I think you are a suspect.
Oh, well, I wasn't expecting that. I suppose everyone's a suspect at the moment, even you. They did mention I needed grief counselling, though, and I said you'd sort me out. I know you didn't agree, but I thought I'd let you know. That's very kind of you.
Okay. Grief counseling?
Sorry, I don't have a clue.
Okay. Continue. Yes.
I'm having a loop day.
Groundhog Day guy. Loop Day?
It's a do-over day. You won't remember. What's the name of your assistant again?
Jaya.
You didn't know that yesterday. Can you remember where I met Hannah?
Oh, God. I just remember that she died. Oh, shit. Oh, I think it just gave me a you were wrong. I remember him talking about Warcraft, because that's where he was talking about grinding life. That must be right.
No. No, we played that game together, but we didn't meet.
Nuts. Grocery store?
I'm not sure that's the answer I'm looking for.
Work?
I'm not sure that's the answer I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Well done, Doctor. Yeah, we met at secondary. Wouldn't it be funny if my day loops if you fail to get a question right?
That would be funny.
I'm not sure that's the answer I'm looking for.
I said that would be funny and it didn't accept it. I guess I really have to type yes or no, or the game gets mad.
I suppose it's funny for you. You won't remember. Anyway, I think I'll probably head home. This isn't helping.
Sorry, bud. Continue.
I'm having a loop day.
Oh, interesting. Loop day?
It's a do-over.
Jaya.
I suppose you did remember that, yes?
School.
Yeah, at secondary
That's
school.
a fun way to do that.
It's been fun, but I've got a pill.
Put a quarter. A pill?
Dr. Dekker gave me this pill. He told me if I took it, I'd never have another loop day. It's got a small skull
Smarty?
and crossbones on it. Should I take the tablet, Doctor?
Let's go with no.
I'm not sure that's the answer I'm looking for.
No, do not take the tablet.
You're cool. I don't think this is getting us anywhere, though. I'll see you tomorrow. Again.
So we have to tell him to take it. Okay. It's fun to use the one patient for that.
I'm having a loop day.
He potentially is actually having a loop day. Loop day?
It's a do.
Jaya.
Well done.
School. Yes, take the pill.
I never mentioned a pill this time, or a tablet. What the hell is going on here? Are you reliving my days?
That's funny. You can type it too early? Why do you think I'm reliving your days?
Something somewhere has changed since you arrived. Like some kind of sim theory.
It was only different last time because I answered the questions in a different order. He gave a different response the first time because I guessed Warcraft incorrectly before I guessed school. And then he was like, if you're wrong, we'll reset. What's sim theory?
It's a thing. Some professor believes we could be living inside a computer simulation and someone is controlling us. And there are millions of these sims. And someone somewhere behind a keyboard is just causing havoc. I'm starting to think you have that keyboard, Doctor.
I do.
Wait, don't answer that.
Fourth
I don't
wall
wanna know.
breaky. Mind games.
midnight each day.
On Valentine's night,
Time as you know it freezes.
20 minutes past 10.
Keep up, Doctor.
Thinks we're going to smother her in her sleep.
I'm a grave digger, Doctor.
I was at home,
David is my husband.
all on my lonesome.
Stabbed him with a steak knife.
Nothing changes.
I'm a qualified angel of death.
When I'm dancing,
You get this day over and over,
Hilda.
I black out,
I don't think she's got long.
and Laurie just,
naked on the beach.
Hannah.
Is that it for today?
Previously on The Infectious Madness of Dr. Dekker. Act 2.
Ooh, deja vu. Are you sitting in exactly the same place I left you last night? Oh, that's where it all starts, Doctor. Anyway, do you think you can fit me in today? Looking at the diary, it's just the usual suspects, and you must be getting sick of them already. I've got this for you, too. It's some more footage from Professor Alderby that was hiding away.
Thank you.
Well, come find me if you need anything.
Can do. Ooh, we got some new people. Alright, let's start with them here. Lacey. Hello.
I'm Lacey Hendricks. So you don't know about me then?
We don't know about you.
Where to start? My next door neighbour in Jobson Hill, where I live, she was murdered. 80, and they diversion burgled her.
What?
But she was wise to it and started calling the police. They slit her throat with a bread knife. So I started a neighbourhood watch.
Who's they?
Keep asking, but I don't know.
Neighborhood Watch?
It was me and Agnes. Everyone else thought we were overreacting. If they want their throats cut, that's up to them, living in their bubbles. But Agnes. Poor Agnes.
This?
She went missing, and still is. And that's what people think. But it's not the truth.
What is the truth?
It killed them. It looks normal enough. A smartly dressed, door-to-door saleswoman. I know because I heard my other neighbours shout at her. No Jehovah's! They think anyone knocking is a Jehovah.
Jehovah's
She
Witness?
said she was selling double glazing.
Double glazing?
I don't know. I didn't answer the door. Best not to nowadays. But I watched her go to Agnes's. Poor Agnes. She let her right into her house.
She's like a lawyer? Let who to the house?
I'm not really sure about that.
She's like a good icebreaker. Are you a lawyer?
That sounds like something I should know about,
Yeah. What is truth?
but I don't.
See if I got any notes there. Clues. So I should watch this real
Of
quick.
course. The faculty thinks I've gone loopy, like some kind of spongy Mobius strip. That's why I'm here, isn't it, Dr. Dekker? Him, God, the great old one, the elder god, Cthulhu, however you address him. Listen to me! You're not listening! It's your only bloody job! Well, let's call him God. He creates this world for his amusement, something he can play with and occasionally alter to suit his mood. God loves chaos, but something goes wrong. Man and woman evolve. What was once chaotic becomes, well, more ordered.
This guy's delivery, I'm trying to think what it
Without
reminds me of.
chaos, he has less power. When there's too much order, he becomes impotent. So he needs to instill chaos again. And do you know how he does this? No. And yes, but you're being too granular. He needs chaos so he can return, and the only thing stopping him is you. Not just you. You and people like you, psychiatrists, doctors, nurses, anyone who is caring for people who are losing their sanity. You have no comprehension how important your job is, do you? He doesn't need your version of insanity to spread. He needs chaos. It's not the same. It's just a means to an end. They're not all cultists, unfortunately. Once you see the truth, it's hard not to spread chaos yourself, to cause further insanity and harm your own. I doubt it. But can I make you question your reality? Definitely. But in doing so, I would be promoting more chaos. On the basis the central component of our universe is chaos, science can only document a perception of the chaos at any one given moment in time, as by definition, chaos is unpredictable from one moment to the next. Which means
Times
that
more
at any
Lovecraftian.
given moment, we can choose
Dropping
to
frames
alter
pretty
our
hard,
perception
by the
of
way.
world, no matter how much chaos that would cause. In 10 seconds' time, there will be no gravity in this room, and we will float. 3, 2,
That was way less than 10
Wow.
seconds. Way fewer.
You think nothing happened. Where's your glass, Doctor?
Break the camera? Okay. Although, that's a clue, that's evidence, and not just another crazy person that Dr. Dekker was talking to. Do I have to click out of it? Okay, I had to click out of it. Notes. Just Lacey with the neighborhood watch. That's kind of frustrating. What happened after she let the woman into her house?
I could only see the silhouette. It turned from a person into a, well, it looked like, I guess you'd call it a Medusa. Snakes for her face. And
It's pretty
Agnes
creepy.
just fell to the floor.
Agnes just got knocked by the Medusa
Minutes
off a
later,
cliff.
The woman left, smiling like the cat that got the cream. That was the end of Agnes.
What happened to the Medusa lady?
I saw it with my own eyes. What more proof do I need? You're starting to sound like Dr. Dekker. He didn't believe me either.
Why do you think Dr. Dekker didn't believe you?
I didn't have much luck with him, like I said. He didn't believe me. He thought I was having a hallucination caused by the stress of my neighbour being so brutally murdered. Where is Agnes, though? I haven't found her, have they? Have they?
Do I get like a yes or no on that? I guess maybe this is a thing where I get to like make a narrative declaration. Yes, they found Agnes.
What? That can't be possible. Is that true? Why don't I know about it then?
No, I'm just fucking with you.
When was
Standard
this
shrink
then?
procedure.
Is she alive? Her useless husband is?
Her husband?
Don't know much about him. Other than the fact that he looks at me like I'm 6 foot under every time we meet. He doesn't seem too bothered she's gone missing either. He did at first, when the police were crawling around. But now they've gone, that's stopped. If I hadn't seen that thing eat her, I'd...
Still dropping frames pretty hard. I'm going to try to keep an eye on it. Hopefully it's just something that'll pass. That thing?
Have you been listening to me? Ask me something about my problem.
You mean the Medusa thing, right? Do you suspect the husband? Okay.
No. He's a weaselly little man who spends far too much time in his garden. It's probably like the National Trust back there. The constant digging and building, pruning and sawing.
So,
What a thing to say! Why would you say that?
you just said it.
I kept watching the front door after that saleswoman had left and nothing. She didn't leave, and you can't get out the back since the council sold the garage block. Ron's a gardener, not a killer.
Unless what?
Agnes said Ron was laying the foundations for a new greenhouse. You don't think...
Think what?
No, I can't really answer that.
Greenhouse? Hey, thanks, Johan. Appreciate that.
I need to call the police. I need to call them now. But they won't listen to me. I tried to tell them about the monster, but they didn't believe me. They won't believe me about this, I promise you. Please, could you call them, Doctor?
Yes. I will call the police.
Thank you, Doctor. Now give me a pen and I'll write down the details for you. Don't you want to know why Dr. Dekker called me the leech lady?
Yes, I do. So I don't know what your deal is, other than that you're kind of a voyeur.
He said that I leech thoughts from people.
Oh, that's
Suck
cool.
them right out of their heads.
Let me make a note about this.
And I can put thoughts in there too. I'm not that clever though, am I, Doctor? I mean, it's not as if I was having an affair with Ron and Agnes was in the way and needed to disappear. So I made this story up.
Not at all what happened?
I mean, what do you think I do for a living anyway?
What do you do for a living?
That's not really a question I can answer.
Yeah. Do you sell double glazing?
Doctor, you're so good. We're going to get on just fine.
What were you doing on
I
Valentine's
was at
Day?
Henley Church. They had a service that ran right up till midnight. For us less fortunates without a love in their life. Well, now. Do you have someone, Doctor? Do you have a love in your life?
I assume this doctor does not. No, I don't have love in my life.
Garden club. You should come with me one night. It's a lovely way to meet new people.
No thanks, I'm good. Garden club? Hey, she's green now. Jasmine, you're new. What's your deal? Hello.
I'm Jasmine. I don't come in that often. What happened to Dr. Dekker?
He is dead.
Oh. When? How? Sorry, you probably don't know, do you?
Valentine's Day, actually.
We had a display in the gallery based on Love Conquers All, so I had to work. Mainly it was a collection of giant hearts sat on things, but I ran into another patient, Bryce.
Bryce is the persona
I've never really
guy.
spoken with him before, but he's quite an art critic. I couldn't get rid of him until I finished work at 11. There's actually another guy who takes over on the night shift. I'm not sure if he kept talking to Bryce though. Providence is open 24 hours.
Presumably that all gets written down. You don't have to track that. That seems pretty important. Guess not. Okay. I should tell Jasmine that Dekker was stabbed. Did you know Dekker was stabbed?
You've confused me a bit.
Dekker was stabbed.
Ouch. I didn't really know him that
That's an
well.
appropriate response.
I can't remember what I was doing on Valentine's Day now.
Actually, I already asked you that. What What's your... Why are you here?
When you see a painting, it stands still. When I see one, it's moving. Like a mini
Are you
film,
on LSD?
like little vines. But when there's a person in the painting,
There's person in the painting?
they watch me,
Jasmine.
normally disapprovingly.
Disapproving?
That's not something,
Oh, watching you.
because they don't think I know how to appreciate art, because I'm too
Okay.
young.
Too young.
Yes, of course. Otherwise I wouldn't be working in an art gallery. I love art. I love paintings. Like I said, they move for me.
Creepy zoom. They move for you?
When I want them to, normally. When I want to really get inside what's going on. But some paintings, I can't stop.
You consider avoiding paintings. Oh, she's got Mario. She's got Mario 64-itis.
I've been working on portraits, at home, outside work. But my paintings aren't so good. Nowhere near Providence standard. I painted a man, Dorian.
Oh yeah,
You know,
I was gonna say, is they
Dorian
doing like
Gray?
a Dorian Gray thing with her? So Dorian Gray is a story about a dude who like sells his soul for immortality, and the way it works is that his painting ages, but he doesn't. There's a really great early black and white film that had color inserts whenever you would see the painting, and it got really like creepy. Dorian Gray.
I wanted to try and capture someone aging, so I divided the face into thirds and painted a boy, his father, and his grandfather in each third. It was hideous. And it started talking to me.
Talking to you?
That I'm ugly. That I have no talent. Nothing will become of me. Is that true, Doctor?
Yes, nothing will become of you. No, that's not true.
I hear it so many times with that wretched painting. It's in my head. But thank you.
You're welcome. Why did I get a note for that? How did you feel about Dekker?
He was shy. And then less so. When I told him about my problem, he told me to set fire to it.
Dekker was very helpful. Set fire to it?
Yeah, he could have been more specific.
You
I
think?
tried to set fire to Providence. At that time, I thought the only way to fix my problem was to set fire to the entire art gallery.
She's also a
paintings
crazy
didn't make
arsonist.
it. Luckily, my boss didn't press charges. The police did arrest me, though.
Police?
My boss, Petra, she's just lovely like that. Providence has gone through some tough times, and I've only been there a year. She invested her life savings, and it's still not making any money. Such a sweet lady. You'd do anything for her.
Petra?
Dr. Dekker told me to burn it. It was nothing to do with Petra.
Anything?
No, sorry.
Oh, I would not have guessed was the fire started for insurance money. Alright.
No. Why are you saying that? I don't even know if Petra has insurance.
Maybe that's just a fun little... was Dorian destroyed in the fire?
I already ripped up the painting. It screamed as I cut it. And
That's
now whenever
creepy.
I close my eyes, I can see it, hear it. I need the tablets, Doctor. I need them.
Tablets? Like an iPad?
The temazepam, the sleeping tablets. The ones you gave me last time.
Virtual mission? No. Why would you think that? I didn't give you anything last time.
Dr. Dekker gave them to me. They helped. I know it's in my head. I know paintings can't talk. What's wrong with me, Doctor? Why do I do this?
Because you're cray-cray. It's the clinical term. Tell me about Bryce. Persona guy believes there's 25 hours in the day for him.
There's not much to tell. I knew he was a patient here. I'd seen him in the waiting room a couple of times. He likes art and talking and looking down here instead of up here.
I think you lack confidence? Is that a thing in my notes?
Thank you, Doctor. I'll think about that. And the prescription, please?
Sure, why not? Oh no, she's green. Never mind, I'm abandoning you immediately. Alright, Bryce. Hello. How are you?
There's something I want to tell you about. Something else that's wrong with me.
Something else?
I think I've been getting a bit out of control in my hour.
It's 25th witching hour thing. Are you like climbing a spooky hell school? Out of control?
When I first got the hour, I was shocked, obviously. It took me a while to work out that everyone was frozen and only I could move, because I live on my own. What would you do, Doctor, if you had an hour where everyone was frozen? Go to a fairground?
Sleep for an extra hour? Maybe I should... Have you stolen anything?
Yes, I would steal too. And I have stolen. I ran out of milk, so I thought I'd go to the local all-night shop and get some more. I was absolutely intending to pay, but when I got there, everyone was frozen. I thought about leaving money on the counter, but that seemed weird. The cashier would wake and suddenly this money would have appeared from nowhere. But I've stolen bigger things.
Bigger things?
From stealing milk, I moved on to petrol. From petrol, well, all those supermarkets have all kinds of electricals, so I've stolen quite a lot of that. I'm not proud. I think I've been doing it because I can, to prove to myself either way, my extra hour is actually real.
Should be evidence of that, right? Have you spied on anyone?
Well, that makes me feel a little better. There's a young mother, divorced, who lives opposite me. Jessica. She's friendly and says hello to me, smiles.
This guy's a creeper.
I've always wondered what she looks like naked. So 1 hour, I broke into her house. She was standing in her bedroom. I took it as a sign. I took off her clothes and...
Creepy. Unfortunately, and what?
I don't...
Off her clothes?
I don't know.
Okay. What did you do?
I took photos of Jessica when she was naked.
Well, that's still really
And
bad.
I'd stripped her. When she was naked and frozen. I didn't want to have to do it again, to strip her again. So I took pictures to remind myself what she looked like.
Oh, okay. That makes it okay then.
That's wrong, isn't it, Doctor?
Yes, that is wrong.
I know. It's that bloody Dr. Dekker. He made me this way. It's all his fault.
Did he infect you with his madness? How is it Dr. Dekker's fault?
Like I said, I originally presented with depression, and everything was going well for a while. Then Dr. Dekker changed.
Changed how?
He was easily distracted during sessions, like he wasn't listening. I'm pretty sure he wasn't listening half the time.
He was reading Twitch chat.
I don't think he wanted to know about his patients anymore. But when he did give you advice,
He did give you advice. Wow.
he told me to use my imagination, to make something up, to think something crazy, and it would become real. He told me to think of a way to get more time. So I did. But he pushed me. He made me think it.
It's interesting. Let me add that to my notes. It's possible Dekker induced the madness in people. Tell me more about Dekker.
I dug the grave for Dr. Dekker. I helped carry his coffin to the burial site. Do you know what? It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it. Why do you think that is?
Because the coffin was empty, dunno.
No, the coffin wasn't empty. There was something in it. A decoy, I'd imagine.
Decoy?
I'm guessing he was buried somewhere else, or cremated. Somebody somewhere didn't want his body going in the ground. Do you want to be cremated or buried, Doctor?
Throw my body in the trash.
That's a good choice, Doctor. Less work for me.
Whatever option is the lowest financial burden on loved ones in society. Now, I don't know why it says you seem preoccupied, but
Possibly a relative of yours. Possibly a patient that died here. I'm not sure. She doesn't normally say anything.
she?
No.
Who is she?
No,
What does she normally do?
not some.
Oh, I guess he's done with that. Okay, that's fine. I'd help people. Again, answering the question of what would you do if you had an extra hour. I would grind until I get Medea Rama so that I can pass the stupid table boss. Where were you on Valentine's Day?
I spent most of Valentine's Day at the art gallery. Well, the evening part, anyway.
A donation
They
to
had a
science seems like
display
a good
with
way
the
to go.
theme "Love Conquers All." I didn't get most of the paintings, but they were well done.
Well done.
I don't have any.
Okay, I guess I need to check these other ones. I'd go to a fairground. I'd help people.
I did think, what good could I do, other than catch up with work?
The one player out there that
I
organically
did see a
typed
woman
fairground
who was
felt really
having her
rewarded.
purse snatched. So I gave her purse back, and the crook, I placed him on a bus a few blocks away. I have no idea where it was going. She'd never really be able to thank me, so I took another picture.
Gross. Do you think he just can pick them up and carry them around like cardboard cutouts? Picture?
I have no idea what you want me to say.
Okay. Wow, I think the fairground is a critical path.
Ha! That was just an example, Doctor. I'm sure you can come up with more exciting things to do than that.
He's all out. Wait, nope. Have you ever destroyed anything?
Yes, I suppose I've destroyed a few things whilst in the hour. You can be the perfect supervillain. Nobody knows it was you.
What have you destroyed?
Because you have to hope, don't you, Doctor? It's only the power of hindsight that made me realize how toxic it all was. And after a point, you go too far to be able to come back anyway.
Too far?
Sorry, Doctor, I dozed off there.
Perhaps because I'm going to ask someone else a question. Hooray, all right. Back to Claire. Claire is the mundane cray-cray lady who stabbed her husband with a knife. She's only mundane in the sense that everyone else has some kind of obviously supernatural thing going on. Yo.
I don't have an answer for you on that one.
Hello.
It's the anniversary of my parents' death today. I went to the lake house. I always go to the lake house anyway, but it's also where they died.
How did they die?
Sorry.
How did your parents die?
They died of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Classic.
I was staying at a friend's house. Otherwise, I would have died too.
Do you miss your parents?
I see what you're trying to do, but I really don't know anything about that.
Do you really, though? Tell me more about your parents.
I don't know.
Parents.
Perhaps we should change the subject.
You seem to be struggling. Bite me. What'd you do at the lake
I
house?
stood for a while, looking across the water. It's peaceful there. It's the place that makes me feel the most. There was a girl there, by the lake, only about 9 or 10. She was fishing, if you can call it that, with one of those nets on a stick.
Fishing?
She lives on the other side of the lake. She must be new. I haven't seen her there before.
Did she catch a fish?
Are you bored? Do you want me to talk about something else?
No, you were just talking about this girl, man. Did you speak to the girl?
I don't know why I talked to her. She looked sad. I don't usually talk to children, but she seemed different, special. I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I, Doctor?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Yes, you can talk to children.
There's very little I'm not willing to talk about, Doctor.
Yes, you are allowed.
Good. It felt nice. I felt like I was being nice. I felt human. So I can find her and talk to her again, Doctor.
No, don't talk to her again. Mixed messages.
I don't mean I'm going to hunt her down. Just, if I see her, I'll talk to her again.
Ooh. Just don't stab her with a stick knife. Why do you want to talk to her again?
I don't know anything about that.
Where were you on Valentine's Day?
The day Dr. Dekker was killed, I had a session with him in the morning at my usual time, 11 o'clock. That was the last time I saw him.
What did you talk to Dekker about in your last session?
Dr. Dekker made me an offer that I couldn't refuse. I'll be taking it to the grave with me, though. As did he.
Did he give you a steak knife? There's another question about the girl. Why was the girl sad?
David had been hunting again, and, well, she's seen some of the skins he hung around the lake house.
Oh, gross. Skins?
Animal skins. David hunts, then skins. It's horrible, really. He's not really good at either job, so the skins still have great lumps of bloody carcass hanging off them. I'm sure he'll get better with practice.
Practice?
Sorry, I don't know.
She's still red. Where is David today? I guess that's a fair follow-up.
David wasn't there. Or at least I didn't see him. I didn't go inside. I forgot my key, and the spare was missing.
What do you think happened to the spare? I think I'm done.
Sorry.
Yeah, because she just turned orange. So this is all optional stuff. How did you meet David?
Met isn't the right word. David has always been there, in the shadows, on the periphery.
It's a weird thing to say.
In very exclusive circles. You tend to see the same faces.
Why would you say it like that? What kind of exclusive
I don't
circles?
move in any circles anymore. Those people were my parents' friends, not mine.
When did your parents die?
It was 12 years ago. I was still very young. Too young to be an orphan anyway. I had to toughen up quickly.
I don't think she has any follow-up for that, or at least I wouldn't expect there to be. How did that girl seem special? Because she was fishing with a net?
I don't know. I suppose she just reminded me of me. I spent a lot of time alone as a child. She said she was
net fishing?
trying to catch some strange creatures that she's seen in the water.
Strange creature?
I don't know. Minnows, probably. Everything's strange when you're a child.
Everything in this universe is real, though. Guessing it wasn't minnows. Do you love your husband?
Love? Yes. I suppose I always will.
She already asked about Valentine's. I guess night is the follow-up question.
Valentine's Day night, I was at the lake house, watching David. Like
Sahagins, or Sanhagins, Sahagins. Why are you watching David?
He has trouble with his mental faculties and is getting worse. Yes. I watch him and make sure nothing bad happens.
I'm adding extra notes for each of the characters for future episodes. Claire has an imaginary friend? Possibly? Split personality? Named David. Hunts. I feel like she is David, but I guess we'll find out. Someone else a question, okay. Aylin, this is the hospice worker who is an angel of death, possibly murders people in the hospice wing.
I haven't had a great day, to be honest. Someone accused me of stealing from my patients, which I would never do.
Kill him, yes.
Plus, Hilda's getting worse.
Hilda?
Hilda's the one I mentioned in our last session. She's dying. I can tell. I need to see her before it's too late.
You to be the one that kills her? Why? Too late for what?
To help her finish her unfinished business. People who are dying always have things they wish they could do before they go. We leave a lot of loose ends in our lives. We're very messy that way.
You could always go on Google and set up that digital will thing that like sends full access to your account to somebody if you don't log in for 3 months. What's Hilda's unfinished business?
Hilda wants to see her daughter.
I always wanted to get murdered.
She's in Australia, so I'm going to have to use my talent.
Talent?
I can change my skin.
Oh, that's new.
What I look like. I can turn into a patient's loved one. I just hold their hand and ask them to imagine that the person they want to see is sitting right here next to them, and I become them. It's how I help them move on.
He's crazy.
Still haven't added it as an actual sound effect. How does it comfort them? That's a good question. I'm just adding a note. Aylin thinks she's a skin changer.
I only shift at work to help my patients.
Oh, okay, that's not so bad.
I don't have any interest in using it as a party trick or to deceive anyone.
What were you accused of stealing?
This? Well, it started with this. It's a locket. Alice, one of my patients, gave it to me before she died.
What's the new note? Tell me about Alice? What else have patients given you? Tell me more about Alice.
Alice was one of my favorites. She never held back, spoke her mind about everything. But she had a wicked sense of humor.
Movie length. What else have patients given you?
I have a few other things. A watch, a ring. One patient gave me a little china bird.
Infinity stones?
They're not valuable, just trinkets, really.
Oh, they're trophies is what they are. They're murder trophies. They're all trinkets?
Strictly speaking, all of the patient's belongings should be passed on to family members after they die. But Alice's son never visited. He didn't care about his mum. Why would he care about some worthless piece of jewellery? It just doesn't feel right to me. What do you think, Doctor? Am I wrong to keep the locket?
Yes, you are wrong to keep the locket. Because it's basically a murder trophy.
Really? I don't see the harm. Alice wanted me to have it. You and Terry and all the other nurses just don't understand.
Can you tell me anything else about Dr. Dekker?
Yes, I had a session with Dr. Dekker on Valentine's Day. 3 o'clock, I think. Just a few hours later, he was... I still can't get over it.
So you can build a timeline from all of them. What were you doing on Valentine's night?
Actually, I had a hot date. It wasn't anything serious, just some guy I know. But it was a nice date, different to what I'm used to.
What are you used to?
I think we've got a bit off track.
Maybe I should check my notes. Why was the date different? I guess that's another way of asking the same question. I think that games like this might work better if they simply rejected input that it didn't have anything for, instead of having like a few dozen I didn't understand that lines. I think that it connects best with the player when you happen to type something and they respond organically, but it's like in a game like this, it's sort of like a point and click adventure game, right? Where like you're trying to match keys to locks. I've talked about this before, that like you can make them fairly obtuse, and the hope is that 5% or 10% or 20% or however many of your players will figure it out, even though it's obtuse, and feel really good when they make that connection. And you're risking the fact that many of the puzzles in the game they're just not going to get, or they're going to have to brute force, or they're going to have to look up in a walkthrough, but it's worth it for the couple that they get right. And it's kind of the same thing with a game like this. I think mechanically, Her Story, the fact that it's just a database and it's just searching the words that were in their dialogue doesn't mean you ever get a false hit like this. And since it very clearly tells you if a clip that you've watched is one that you've already seen before from searching elsewhere, it helps you to keep track of all of those things. It's just an interesting genre to try to build. It's not like, I wouldn't call it like Turing test game, right? Because, it's kind of known to the player that there's only certain prompts that are understood by the computer, but it's still pretty interesting. Why was the date different?
It was very traditional, old-fashioned, Dinner at a nice restaurant. Then we went for a little walk along the pier, held hands, had a bit of a kiss. Then he called a cab, and I went home, alone.
She's so delighted about that. What time did you get the cab?
I think it was about 11 when I left Max. I'm sure you could check with the taxi company if you really wanted to. If you think
That's
I need
okay.
an alibi.
Police will do that. Why would you need an alibi? Oh, she's already orange.
That's not really important.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back to... Oh, no, I have some more questions for her before we move on. Who accused you of stealing?
Of course, it was Terry that accused me of stealing. One of the other nurses. She's actually trying to make out that I'm some kind of HSK.
Just K. I thought she was going to say HISK.
Healthcare serial killer. You know, like those nurses that kill loads of their patients. I'm surprised you haven't heard of it. Anyway, because a few of my patients have died on me, and some of those patients have given me gifts, Terry thinks it means that I've been killing them off.
Have you been killing them off?
No. That's not a question for me.
Okay. Notes. Jaya should check Aylin's alibi with the taxi company. All right, Mariana is, she blacks out, wakes up by the ocean, naked and covered in seaweed. How are you today?
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session, and no blackouts.
Hey!
New doctor and new hope. You're much better behaved than Dr. Dekker.
Behaved? What were you doing on Valentine's Day?
I didn't do anything on Valentine's Day.
Slow zoom.
I washed my hair, and then I walked along the beach for the whole night. It's actually true. I saw one of your patients, actually. The nurse. She was on the pier with someone. Pretty much all of the night, too, so I can vouch for her, even though she probably didn't see me.
Interesting. I feel like I should have been writing all this down whenever I was getting people's alibis, but let me just leave a note to my future self. Sometimes patients refer to the same event. Start taking notes of this cross reference. Because the in-game notes, I'm not clear on what it writes down. Sometimes it gives you a hint of a thing that you can ask that maybe the conversation doesn't suggest. What can you tell me about Dekker?
He went out for drinks. Didn't you know? He said it was a breach of something or the other, but I can be pretty persuasive when I want to be.
Breach of something. I was like, why are they holding on this for so long at the end of her dialogue? What's the note? I thought she said she didn't drink. I thought you didn't drink.
I guess it was a couple of days before Valentine's Day. It wasn't a date or anything. I noticed in our sessions that he'd been acting a little strange. He just didn't seem right. I wanted to find out what was wrong.
Do you think she's a British actress putting on an English accent? Oh, I can add my own notes here. I don't think I realized that before. I should be typing all this shit in-game. Damn. Maybe I'll just copy and paste my notepad into it before we switch to the next game. Did you just go out for drinks?
Yeah, drinks. I think Dr. Dekker ordered neat whiskey. I had water. I don't drink.
Oh, okay. Well, all right, whatever. Just say that next time. Why am I better behaved?
Dr. Dekker dated his patients. That's not good behavior, is it?
More than one patient? Which patients did Dekker date?
I think her name was Scarlett? One of his patients, an older woman. I guess that's how he liked them.
Dekker liked older women. So that comes in under, what can you tell me about Dekker? How do you feel not going to the beach?
I haven't been back to the beach since our last session. Kind of missed it.
Why have you missed the beach?
You do something a lot, you're gonna miss it. I suspect I'll go back there soon, but it's helped with the blackouts.
How are you persuasive?
I know, it's pretty hard to believe, isn't it? I feel pretty ugly. But I think I have a nice smile.
Is this a yes or a no? No, your smile is trash.
Lots of people find me attractive, but I've seen something truly beautiful. It makes me feel dull by comparison.
Is it a Sahagan? Is it Nyarlathotep? What is the beautiful thing you saw?
I have a recurring dream where I find something.
Was it a fishman?
In the sea. But I don't know you that well yet, Doctor. Let's wait a while before I tell you my most intimate secrets.
Look.
Sorry to cut in, Doctor. I've just had a phone call from a solicitor. Ben's trying to sue us for nervous shock. Should I go and see him to talk it out, or should I find a solicitor to represent us?
How many times do I have to tell you?
I just think we should act quickly before it's too late.
Don't press the jump scare button whenever you walk in the office. Solicitor.
I don't know.
Hello.
Hey, you. Thanks for helping me with this grief thing. I'm not sure I have it, though.
Grief? You don't feel grief?
I don't really know where to start. I feel a bit numb. Maybe we should just talk about him.
Sure. Him?
It's very interesting that you asked me that.
Okay. Dekker.
It hadn't even been a year. He was a quiet, solitary man. A good listener, as I suppose you'd need to be. His confidence did grow as time wore on, but that's what you'd expect after you've fitted in. I mainly miss our chats. He used to work late with me and tell me things about the patients, things that I probably shouldn't have heard, but did.
Dr. Dekker was terrible.
What do you think of the patients? Nah, perhaps you shouldn't say. You can ask me. Go on, I'll tell you what I think.
What do you think? Look, I just got out of, Psych 101, so I'm just doing the Socratic thing. Whatever noun you end with, I'm going to say that, but with a question mark.
Most of the patients are suspects, according to the police. Almost all the patients are referred, and some of them are privates, but Dr. Dekker didn't introduce any of them.
Okay, so she can give me her opinion on everyone. Say, why did you work late with Dekker?
We'd work late together on all sorts of things. He was preoccupied with finding patterns in patients, trying to find some kind of order.
Because he's the opposite of chaos? Because God is chaos, according to our evidence video? What patterns was he looking for?
Mainly he was searching for a common experience the patients might have had. That's what led them to his office. He'd study everything, even the referral letters.
He considered that the common experience is Dr. Dekker? Referral letters.
Yes. Letters, parking tickets, holiday destinations. I find those referral letters... He was sure there was a pattern in them.
All right, that's all. Who has a session on Valentine's Day?
On Valentine's Day, Dr. Dekker had a session with Claire Castleford at 11 and that nurse Elin at 3. Everyone else cancelled. You should see this place Christmas Eve. I was at home though, so I don't actually know who came in. Dr. Dekker did phone and ask me for Nathan's number, which is a bit strange.
Nathan's the Groundhog Day guy. Dr. Dekker called Nathan the day he was murdered? I should ask Nathan. All right, let's get feedback on everybody. Ben through Nathan.
So, should I get a solicitor or shall we try and talk it out with him?
We should get a solicitor. Let's get a solicitor.
I think we should get a solicitor. I know the perfect firm. I'll do it all. Don't worry about it. And that's why we've got insurance for these kinds of things anyway. But the cheek of it.
Looks like I'm losing chat connection. I think I still have stream. I'll try reconnecting here in a second. Tell me about the drowned girl, Mariana.
Mariana is a special girl. You know, there's something about her that just makes you want to follow her. Maybe that's what a trendsetter looks like.
Think I'm back in chat? Okay. We got Bryce. Bryce is Persona Guy, 25th hour.
I think Bryce has a lot of misdirected anger. I don't think I like him that much. You know, sometimes when things overrun, he's outside waiting for you, and he stares at me as if he's undressing me with his eyes. You know, he's not the first person that's done that, but still, you know, it feels worse coming from him.
All right, so we now have 2 people that say he's a creeper, and Bryce, who admits to being a creeper. Great. Tell me about Claire.
Claire seems to be shaken by something. You know, I offer her drinks every time she comes in, but she always refuses them. It's as if she just wants to come in, get her session over with, and then run off to do something else. It's a bit rude, isn't it?
Just a bit. Claire's the stabby one. Aylin's the murder hospice nurse.
Elin seems like a lovely person. I'm not really sure why she's here.
She's a murder nurse? Oh, that's all you have to say. Okay. Tell me about Nathan.
Oh, I just want to cuddle Nathan all up. He's such a mess. He's always in the same clothes. You know, he barely talks to me though. It's the same hello every time. He reminds me of Tom.
Tom?
Tom was a quiet mess, like Nathan. Youngish, in his early 20s. He taught piano, but he did have a strange hobby.
What was Tom's strange hobby?
Tom liked to base jump. That's basically falling from a huge building or mountain and pulling your parachute before you hit the ground. He started to think he could fly. Dr. Dekker tried to talk him out of it, but Tom had to prove his point. So one day, Tom decided to base jump without a parachute. Can you guess what happened?
He flew?
Sorry, Doctor, I don't know.
Did Tom die? Oh, cool. Thanks, sir. That's like new content.
He did die.
New dungeon.
He was hit by a rock from further up the mountain. He never got to fly. Nathan thinks he knows what his problem is too, but if he's not careful, he'll get hit by that rock. I wish I'd said goodbye.
Is there someone you wanted to say goodbye to?
I wish I'd said goodbye to Dr. Dekker. It was so sudden. You know, here, then gone. He resigned anyway, but that's not the same, is it?
Why did he resign?
Dr. Dekker resigned shortly before his murder. You know, it's sad, but doctors come and go and only poor Jaya remains. I've got his resignation letter somewhere. You know, I do all the hiring and firing around here. Well,
Professor Alderby and the Trust technically do that.
Interesting stuff. Resignation letter. Oh, okay. Look at that. Look at the crazy evidence. 11th of February. So he resigns the day before Valentine. Or no, several days before Valentine's Day. 12th of February is Abraham Lincoln's birthday. I only know that because of a line in Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. All right. Nathan is the last one we haven't talked to. This is Groundhog Day guy. Sup? Hello.
Hello again, Doctor. I had a bit of a shaky loop incident, but let's not talk about it. Yesterday, I set fire to Hannah's clothes in the garden. I just wanted the day to move forward. I instantly regretted it. And lo and behold, here we are, a new day.
Interesting.
Hannah's clothes are a pile of ashes.
Why did you set fire to his clothes? I mean, he seems to think that it makes time move forward. Maybe he'll tell me why.
I've kept almost all of her stuff as she left it. It's just the clothes. I've decided to burn those yesterday, so here I am. Hannah loved clothes. Every season, she'd donate her entire wardrobe to some charity or another, and only buy stuff she loved. I was left with winter. I don't even know what her favourite season was. Does it matter? What's your favourite season, Doctor?
Autumn.
I thought you'd be an autumn person. That means you're supposed to be grounded and productive.
No, I just like it to
And
be
you like your
cold,
space.
but not too cold. And I want everything to be dead. What did Dekker think of you?
Dr. Dekker felt that Hannah was holding me back. The memories of Hannah. In his opinion, I was holding on to the past. So I guess he cursed me, if that's even a thing.
Cursed you?
Yes, Dr. Dekker cursed me. I don't really want to talk about it, but let's just say I blame him for the way I am.
So several of
Can you give
them.
me some
This is what
advice,
we're
Doctor?
learning in Act 2. What kind of advice do you want? God. I'm so useless.
I've been trying to think how I can get past today. I've come up with a couple of choices. I could set fire to Hannah's photographs. I've got them in Dropbox anyway. But setting fire to the clothes did the trick. Or setting fire to a rocking chair. She sounds like an old lady, but she loved that rocking chair, which I've not sat in since. Which one do you think's best?
Can you not set fire to anything? Burn the rocking chair.
Set fire to the rocking chair. I never like the way it moves forwards and backwards.
That's a rocking chair. Just a bit of a firebug. Where were you on Valentine's Day?
I was at Henley Church on Valentine's Day, visiting Hannah's grave. It's the anniversary of her death. Her parents wanted a huge funeral with all the trimmings. Hannah would never have come for it. It does give me somewhere to visit. I got to write the epitaph.
Epitaph? Taking more notes over here while he's talking.
We walk alone without our angel.
Drew you to that phrase. Are you religious?
I'm not religious, but when I wrote Hannah's epitaph, I knew her parents would want some acknowledgement of the great bearded one. But she was an angel to me. She was an angel to everyone.
When did you leave Henley Church?
I left Henley Church about 11 o'clock on Valentine's Day. I was talking to an archaeologist who said it uncovered some fossils resembling a strange cephalopod-like creature. Strange place to find an octopus, really. What? Do you think I've got something to do with Dr. Dekker's murder? Maybe you should ask your assistant who Dekker saw that day.
I think this game is decently well written, but I think that it like blows its load a little early on the Lovecraft stuff, especially with that evidence piece where the guy like literally just talks about it. Right. What were you doing at the time of Dekker's murder?
Yeah, I did get a call from him. He was rambling on about something to do with hypnosis. My mind literally switched off. It must have been good though, because that was one of those nights when I slept through to the next day.
Huh. Do you feel lonely?
I've been alone since Hannah. I can't imagine anyone ever replacing her. Not that I've looked. Do you think I should look for someone else?
Yes, you should look for someone else.
Okay, fine. I'll try. I'm not really sure what I'm looking for though. Just sign up to Tinder and start swiping. Maybe it's just company I'm missing. Although I don't really want any.
Or you could join the garden club with Lacey. Alright, continue.
David Hunt,
I can change my skin.
then skins.
Dr. Dekker dated his patients.
I had a hot date.
We went out for drinks.
I took photos of Jessica.
Dr. Dekker did
On
phone
Valentine's Day.
And ask me for Nathan's number.
There was a girl there.
Am I wrong to keep the locket?
I'm allowed to talk to her, aren't I?
He was preoccupied with finding
Photographs.
patterns.
Rocking chair.
I haven't been back to the beach since,
I had a bit of a shaky loop incident.
where I find something
I set fire
beautiful in the sea.
to Hannah's clothes in the garden.
I dug the grave.
I wish I'd said goodbye.
Dr. Dekker cursed me.
It didn't weigh enough to have a body in it.
Oh, Doctor, you surprised me. Reminds me of Officer Yates. Did I ever mention I had a special friend in the police force? Nah, it's not something you drop politely into a conversation. He's been doing some digging and he's found a couple things. There's a crime scene report that goes into all the gory details and another report that's about a patient you're seeing today, Claire. I'll put them both on the desk for you. And thanks for the grief counselling, by the way.
No
It's
problem.
really been helping.
Yeah, has it been?
I'm so glad you're here.
You hug the camera. Alright, so this game, I think it makes a lot of sense to wrap on act cutoffs there. Again, Waffle Tea, if you're watching in the future, I'll credit you some time here. I'm going to leave myself some future notes. Future Marstead, first of all, go back in the VOD to the end of the previous chapter. It gives you kind of a quick recap of what happened in Act 2. That will help a lot. You've also got some new evidence to look at, so make sure you check that out under clues, Claire's arrest report, and the crime scene report. I'm going to go ahead and we'll make the normal Future Marstead text file, but I'll also see if I can copy and paste it directly into the game, because it looks like you're allowed to type notes directly into this. So I'm going to put them at the very bottom if it lets me. The basic premise so far, Act 1 introduces the concept of the Cray Cray people. Act 2 kind of introduces the idea that everyone believes Dekker infected them with their secret powers or Cray. They like the guy that has Groundhog Day thinks he has Groundhog Day because of Dekker. The guy that has the Persona 25th Hour thinks that Dekker gave it to him. That sort of a thing. And everybody has a story for Valentine's Day. We probably want to go back and look through their different alibis because it looks like it builds up to a story. You should have some history of their notes to figure out a timeline of where everyone was on Valentine's Day and whose stories don't add up with everyone else's accounts. There's a couple people that refer to each other. Saying we're some kind of infectious madness of Dr. Dekker. Cool. So we'll wrap a little bit early here, and like I said, we'll credit some time back to Waffle for next episode.